Hey guys, welcome to the homestead. So today we're going to talk about our onions. We're going to get these things strung up. This is just a fantastic way to display and store your onions, and it's very simple, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So starting off, first things first, this won't be a long video, hopefully it won't be too involved, but you want to find, I have this string up on a hook, and this is kind of like some cordage. It's just a basic nylon cordage, and what I'm doing is I'm going to wrap these onions that I have pulled out from the garden in a way so that I can store them over the winter. And what they're going to do is they're underneath of the roof of my deck, and they're going to stay right here against the house, and there's plenty of airflow around here. And so they will be able to stay dry, and they won't get wet here because all the rain is out there. And so we did this last year with a lot of success. And whenever we need a new batch of onions, we'll just take one down and bring it into the kitchen. It'll hang in the kitchen. So we keep some of these in the kitchen at the same time. There's others out here so that when we need them, we can just come get them and just bring them inside. And so we got red onions, yellow onions. We're going to hang some onions. I think I may try to do a design, so we'll try to mix some yellows with some reds and see how that goes. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. So you've got your cable, and the way you're going to tie this, I'll go ahead and show you real quick. The top of it is basically just a knot. So you see that right there? Looking at the screen so that you can tell. And this is just 4 strands, okay, that's been looped and then tied off at the end. Camera, but I guess it's about 2 feet, let's just say 2 feet, 2 feet long, maybe a little bit longer than 2 feet. Okay, so basically you measure one length of 2 feet, wrap it around, measure another one, wrap it around, measure another one, wrap it around, measure another one. Then you've got your 4 strands that you just tie off at the end. Does that make sense? Okay. It's out of focus there. If I can see that right there. You can, this camera does not operate real well sometimes in focusing, but you can see right there. Very simple. Tie it off at the end, and I'm going to hang this back on the hook, and then now we can begin. So first things first, you're going to find a good size onion to begin your process, and I think this is a good size onion here. We'll start with a red, and the way we tie off this first onion is this is going to be your base. So you're going to take this, and you're going to make a loop like that. See that? Maybe I should change the focus area for this right there. See that right there? I'm going to reach up, grab this through here, and so now I've got this loop like that. See that? Okay. Now this is going to be where I stick the top of that first onion through. Yeah. I bring it all the way through that loop so it goes around the onion. And all I got to do is cinch it down. I hope that makes sense. And then that's your base right there. That is your base. Let's cinch that down real tight. And now these tops are dry. And then what I'll do, I'll just take some clippers and I'll just clip off the remainder of that. But that won't move. That is completely in there. Next one we'll do will be a yellow. And we're going to take this, separate 2 sides, so you have 2 cords on each side, and you just pass that through like that. And then you're going to take that, wrap it around underneath. And then if you want to, after you wrap it around underneath of the yellow onion you just inserted, you're going to take one side where these 2 right here, see how these 2 are split? And I'm going to run the other end of that top of that yellow onion through there and then cinch it down. And you know, it doesn't have to be too tight, but it's gonna stay in place. Now it's kind of awkward, it's kind of cockeyed right now, but it'll even out once I get another yellow onion on this side. So there's one yellow onion. Here's our next yellow onion. We're going to even out the sides. So I'm going to pick 2 different cords to go through, not the same ones I ran before. I'm going to stick that in there. Okay, this is going to be on the opposite side now, and then I'm going to wrap same thing around. And if you can't, you know, my ends are kind of, my tops on my onions are kind of short, so they don't really have the ability to go all the way through, but that's okay. because it'll still stay in place because of all the weight of the other onions on top. But now, cinch that down. Now I've got 2 onions on either side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a red onion here and a red onion there to kind of finish out the design. Here's a good red onion. Again, take 2 different cords, separate them, divide them in half, then run that through. It's going to sit on this side here. And I'm going to wrap it around and underneath the onion. Which direction you go really doesn't matter, left or right, as long as it goes underneath the onion. And if you have enough left over, run it through one of the cords there. So you see that? Look at that. See how that's working? So we've got our next red onion. Again, I'm going to divide up the cordage, 2 different sides, and I'm going to run it through. And this time, I've got kind of a long neck. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this around twice. I'm going to cinch it down real tight. Wrap it around this cord twice, so you can go with the top around here twice. Twice. And that's going to kind of bring those cords back together. And then underneath. So wrap it around the cord and then underneath. So it kind of brings this cord back together. And there you go. That one's kind of sticking up quite a bit there. There we go. But it's got a little bit of space here. It's not perfectly even, but it's okay. But you can see where I'm going with the design, right? Now, with this method, you're going to be able to do probably 3 or 4 different layers. At that point, this thing is going to get really heavy, and you take a chance of maybe it falling apart under its own weight. So what I would recommend is maybe go 3 high. So this would be your first layer. And then 2, then 3. And if you want to go 4, you can do 4. I did 4 for one of these back here. That one's a 3 layer, but the one next to it's a 4 layer. It's off camera, and that's fine. You can do 4 layer, but anything more than 4 layer, this thing starts to get really, really heavy. So we'll keep going with that, and then I'll see what it looks like when it's done. It looks pretty good. It's not exactly even because of these 2 right here. They're gigantic. I probably should have put one of these bigger onions on the side here on the other side to even it out. I guess I could redo it if I wanted to. Well, it looks pretty good. That'll hang nice. But yeah, it's a little uneven. Some of the other ones turned out a little better. But I've still got some onions left to do. I've got enough to probably do 2 more hangings like this. So we're gonna have lots of onions. We did really good on our onions this year in the garden, and so once I get done with these, I'll share with you how I finally was successful in growing onions. So stick around for that. Let me hang the rest of these. So there you go, there's another good bundle. That'll hang nice. Looks good. Okay, so growing onions. So if you've watched our videos in the past, you know that we have had struggles with growing onions. There was just year after year, I would try to plant onions, and what I mean by onions, I tried planting with seeds, I failed. I tried planting with sets, I failed. And I don't know, the reason I don't know is because so many people told me so many different ways to try, and I tried a lot of them. Some people said I was planting too deep. Some people said I was planting too shallow, and I didn't know what was going on. I still don't understand it today. I think, and because it's so different, I think for so many people, and I don't know what it is about onions. It's also interesting to note that onions are really the one seed that don't last very long. I mean, there's lots of seeds that last and are more viable for the next year or the year after that. The seeds stay viable longer. However, it seems like with onions, growing conditions are just different from, neighbor to neighbor even sometimes. It's so weird. I don't know why that is. I hope that makes sense. People would tell me, oh, I grow onions successfully doing it this way. And other people would say, no, 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 I do it completely different. And that's the only way I have success with onions. Well, one year, this last year, I said, you know what, I'm going to try it again. I'll see what happens. And last year, when I tried it, my first year ever being successful at onions, I grew a small patch. And what I did, I started with the little sets, the little onion bulbs that you can buy in the stores. And I was like, oh, I'll pick some of those up and I'll just try it again. So I put those in the ground. I didn't put them too deep. I put them just about, an inch in the ground or so. And then this year, last year, because I had lots of straw on hand, I took a bunch of straw and I just scattered it over the top of the onions. I had never done that before. Never done that before. And lo and behold, boom, I got onions. Just big, bright, beautiful onions. And I was like, what did I do different? At first I didn't recognize it, and it was because of the straw. The straw was the only thing I did different. Before I had tried to put compost on top, or I had tried to put sod or wood chips on top. That didn't work. But the straw, wheat straw, I put wheat straw on top. And all of a sudden, boom, big, beautiful onions. And so I decided this year I'm going to do the same thing. And lo and behold, big, beautiful onions. I've talked to other people who have tried the straw method and it didn't work for them. So I don't know what it is. Onions are just one of those gardening mysteries I have no idea how to understand. And I think it's just going to be different for everybody. So when it comes to onions, if you've had trouble with onions, try it different ways. Read about, and it's the same thing. I look on YouTube and I find people who have done videos on how to grow onions. And a lot of people have different methods that work for them. So it all comes, I guess, down to whatever works for you, works for you. Try that and experiment until you come up with a way to make it work. There are some things on this homestead I've just given up on. Not because I don't want to grow them, it's because, there are other things in my garden that take priority that are more important to me. And so those are the things I want to grow. Onions are something that my wife uses in cooking a lot. And because we use it so much, I want to grow them. And I think onions are one of those things that make food so flavorful that, when you're cooking from scratch, that it's just almost impossible to want to do without. So onions are a priority. Tomatoes are a priority. Green peppers are a priority. Maybe some spicy peppers are a priority. Things like that. Things that I know we're going to use in our kitchen. My wife is going to cook with that provide an enormous amount of flavor and meaning to us. Those are the things I want to grow. I'll give you an example of something I don't grow, and it's broccoli. Broccoli. I've tried broccoli a number of times. We get a lot of pests with the broccoli, and the broccolis just don't grow very big. The clusters just don't grow very big. And because we do cook with broccoli from time to time, but it's not something we cook with at almost every meal. And so I decided not to do broccoli. Now maybe I'll experiment at some point with broccolis, and try find ones that are least prone to pest pressures. Then maybe I find one and I'll grow that. But I have yet to find a broccoli that I really can grow and grow successfully, and so it goes to the sidelines because I have other priorities, vegetables that are more important to me. So really, the bottom line in all this is experiment. Find the things that work well for your family. Find the things that are going to work well for you. Find the things that you're definitely going to cook with. So much of America today doesn't even cook, and so I tell people, learn to cook. Learn to make meals from scratch. It's going to be way more healthier than eating out all the time, and you can enjoy using the things you actually grow with your own two hands, and then serving them at your dinner table, or using that to feed yourself or your family. It's so much more meaningful at that point. So onions will be a priority. For me, it's about wheat straw. You put the wheat straw on top, and for some reason that just allows them to grow and grow big. And so I had another really successful year with onions this year, and so that's what I'll keep doing. I'll keep doing it that way. So anyway, all right, hope you enjoyed the video. String up some onions And these onions are going to probably last us for a year. They'll be aligned along the house, along the side of the house here, underneath the cover, but it gets plenty of airflow here. They should stay fine for a year. We did this last year with our onions. They were fine for as long as we needed them. We ended up eating them before a year was out because I didn't grow as many as I grew this year. I still have a lot of onions here I need to get strung up. But yeah, they'll stay here along the house, and they will just stay dry and we'll pick them when we need them. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Before you leave, hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that, and share us on social media. We really appreciate that. All right, guys, see you next time on the homestead. Hey there. Thanks for watching our channel. If you're looking for great off-grid homesteading videos, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to like the video you just watched. You can also feel free to send us your questions by going to anamericanhomestead.com on our contact page and send me your question. Your question might get made into a video. In the meantime, check out some of these other great videos. Oh wait, go ahead and click them. Go ahead.